Batman 61, Tom King writing, Travis Moore on art, aka a Batman book that's really confusing until it clicks what it's doing. Because
Bro, I read through this like 4 times before I got to the end because I felt I was missing pages. And I was like, do I need to go get a new one?
I read this on the bus earlier and I was like, what the hell's going on?
Joe, it's
Yeah.
funny.
Is this Joe, because obviously this is a part of an arc called Nightmares. And I'm like, is this all a dream?
Which, by the way,
Let's go.
Nightmares is going longer than most of the arcs have done because the March issues are still Nightmares. So this is
It's
going.
9 issues.
Yeah.
It's 9 issues. They're all one shots, though, I believe, or in some sense.
Which is cool, but so here's the thing.
What is King doing? He's a madman.
He is a madman. So here's the thing. I was reading this, and about halfway through, I was like, okay, this is a weird, confusing story, which is supposed to be making me go, this isn't right, because we've got like the Waynes being murdered, but Batman's investigating the Waynes murder and talking to young Bruce Wayne. You know, you've got these big things.
Yeah, that very first page, I'm like, oh, for God's sake, the Waynes again.
Not the Waynes again.
Yeah. I know.
Well, also
and we said that last week with Detective. Let me finish my point, though. So, here's the thing. Halfway through the book, I'm thinking, this is really weird and confusing. It's supposed to be weird and confusing. This is not meant to make sense yet. And I was like, I think I'm going to like this when I understand what's going on. But there was that worry that by the end of the book it was going to have this ambiguous ending where I wasn't really going to, it was going to be all kind of dreamlike and we won't really know what it really is or what it means. It doesn't do that. You get a straight answer. We understand exactly what's happening by the time we get to the end. But I was worried it wouldn't. So I'm glad that it all clicked.
The question is, did you like it when it got to the end and you understood what it was?
That's another question, which we'll get to. But
the thing that got me was like, yeah, we have Batman showing up with Gordon, but Gordon seems his age now, not when Bruce was younger, and you get Joe Chill like showing what's the word? Not sympathy, remorse, I guess.
Yeah. Oh,
because he talks about the pearls, and you're just like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like,
and Joe, I think is genius is that it's been long enough since issue 38, which this is calling back to, and that was the one-shot issue where we learned about this kid Matthew, who's obsessed with being Bruce Wayne. So when it reminds you of that, eventually, and you find out that no, this is him, and most of it's in his head. He is using this as an excuse. So basically, we find it because he eventually, in the story, you know, the Batman's caught the killer, right? And eventually, Matthew or young Bruce Wayne goes to the prison, but he blades the killer. You know, the guy's trying to apologize, and he blades him in the neck, and then it snaps out of it, and we see that he's actually murdered another inmate because he's obviously in a prison right now because he's obviously what he's been doing. And they're going to send him to Arkham because even though he's a kid, he's so dangerous that they're just going to ship him off there.
because they tell him he has a list of people that he's done this to.
Yeah.
You know, the one that got me with the belt, where the security guard's like, "Oh, are you wearing a belt, little guy?" And you're like, "Wait a minute, I don't care where you go, they'll make you, kid or no, you got to take the belt off."
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, I can confirm that.
So, you know, yeah.
Connor's got a dark past.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like, Connor. I know what you meant, but it made it sound like, yeah, I spent some time in
Yeah, I
prison.
spent I did some time in
That was
juvie.
the intention.
So,
Yeah,
but
so
man, and the way that he murders that inmate too
yeah,
is straight up brutal with a razor blade.
yeah, it's straight up dark. And
Oof.
so it's funny. That was a really weird issue at the time, issue 38. You know, to talk about it, it was like, oh, this weird kid who's obsessed with being Bruce Wayne. And then coming back to it now, I think I like the issue pretty much. I think it maybe went a bit far with the Martha and Thomas things in the face. That was a bit too.
Yeah, but you got to give him his ass look, right?
Yeah, I suppose. I guess now we know for sure that it's always him and not actual young Bruce, because now he always have those scars.
I think for me, this like once it clicked in, it's like what the issue was. I'm like, okay, this is at least it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I didn't really enjoy reading it because as I'm reading it, I'm going, what's going on? I wasn't getting any enjoyment out of it. I was like, all right, I get it, but
I feel that's the manipulation at play by King.
Yeah, but I think
whatever these have in store,
I feel like it went too far for me, and it went on too long. Where, because it's like 90% of the issue, right? And it's like the last couple of pages that it's revealed. I'm like, okay, whatever.
So what confused me is the last issue ended with Thomas Wayne of Flashpoint showing up, and so I was like, wait a minute, this this is not how that origin went. Like, I thought, like, Thomas was going to get up and Bruce was going to get... I was like, oh, okay, well, we're revisiting this. Okay, no, that's not what it is. Okay, well... And then it turns out to be this. So now I find out they're all kind of one-shots. It makes me wonder what the hell is going on with Batman.
I've got a feeling that Batman has been taken by Flashpoint Batman. And I don't think that he's seeing this one specifically, but I get the feeling that... I mean, are we going to go through, like, 9 stories that effectively don't have Batman in it as a main character? Because Batman's been taken.
I'm gonna have to go and look at some solicits.
Because this didn't technically have any Batman in it, because it was just about the kid. Everything with Batman was just like his made up, story in his head that was justifying the murder of this guy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Are they all like that? Is it all focusing on different characters?
Oh
no.
The other thing that... Go ahead.
The next issue is still about this young Matthew.
Okay. So one shots was maybe not the most accurate description.
So 63 seems to be very different though. 63 is with Constantine.
If all of these, if this whole arc of Kingsman Red is about the taking apart Batman and Bruce Wayne and then reassembling him, I wonder if this is Thomas Wayne's going to go to him and be like, yo, this kid can't let out. You just have to take him out. You know what I mean? Because Thomas Wayne's all about that.
I'm wondering if like all these Nightmare issues are all basically setting up other people who are going to be on Bane's side. Like if this kid's ultimately going to be recruited by Bane. Does this Constantine story set up one of the mythical characters in Gotham that's on Bane's side? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I can just definitely see this because they're all representative of Bruce. Like there's an aspect there. But I just want to know why Bane went to Tom and how he got the Flashpoint Batman. Like there's so much here, and normally old me would have been like, well, this is BS. I don't know what's going on. But King's earned it, so I'm willing to see where this goes before.
Well, no, just glance at the solicits. I said, it's 9 issues. It runs till 69, but we have the break for the Flash crossover with 64 and 65. It's not actually that much longer.
No. Okay, so it's actually just like 6 issues. It's just taking a break off for 2 issues.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That's fair enough.
But yeah, so
which is interesting. It's interesting that to get the end of that cliffhanger, we might be waiting until like April,
70? May. 70 to 74 is a storyline called The Fall and the Fallen, and then 75 is the the event that we don't know about yet.
All right. Okay.
But yeah.
Well.
So what? No grades now.
Yeah, we have grades. Matt, what do you give it the book?
Yeah, so as an experience, it's kind of high, but as a cohesive story, it's kind of So I'm gonna give it a 7.
Yeah, what are you giving it, Connor?
I'm going with a 6.
It's a weird one. I feel like this Nightmare little section where we're doing all these sort of like shorter stories are probably gonna be really experimental, for better or worse. So yeah, I'll probably go with a 7 as well. I think I like some of the beats in it. Like the art. Art's pretty good.
I hope the rest of the art, like this one was really trying to play the mystery and it went for me. It went too far with the bit of what it was doing.
Well, now we know, so presumably next issue won't.
That's what I mean. So I feel like it can't do that every issue. When it changes his character and does other stuff throughout.
I don't think it will because I think King does like to do different things. Like Pete was saying, it's going to be a little bit more experimental.
Yeah. So I'm hoping this is like my least favorite of this arc. In which case, I can live with it.